friends, I'm so glad you're joining me today to paint this month's You Be the Maker box kit. We will be making a cute little bless this home and all who enter sign, perfect for your front entry or any place else in your house you would like to place it. So let's get started. We're going to start by doing a whitewash on the back piece. And you can see that my back piece has little lines indicating where I will be gluing down the words and flowers when the time comes. So first things first, let's go ahead and get our sponge soaking in some water. And that will help us be able to do the whitewashing technique easier. Okay, we're going to take one of our disposable plates and we're going to open up our paint. And in this case, I am opening up my white paint. But if you're wanting to do a different color for your background, you go ahead and do whatever color you choose. I'm also going to go ahead and take some scissors and cut up my little sponge wedges for painting. I'm going to cut them into 6 little pieces. And then I'm going to take one of the Q-tips and I'm going to just scoop some of the white paint out onto the disposable plate. Okay, now taking our sponge, I'm going to squeeze out some of the water, and now I'm just going to make a light whitewash. You can always add more water as needed. Okay. And now you're just going to go over the wood. And it's okay if you get the white paint in the lines for your gluing guides, because when all is said and done, they will actually be hidden. So these are just like little cheats for you to know where to glue. Okay, you see how fast that came together? We're going to go ahead and set this aside to dry, and let's go ahead and move on to our words. Alright, so for our words, bless this home and all who enter, I am going to be using a brown color. Again, you use whatever color you would like. And I'm going to just take one of the little pieces of sponge that I just cut, and within the lid, I'm just going to kind of dab to make sure that the sponge isn't saturated with paint. And then I'm just going to dab over the words until they are all fully covered with a good coat of the paint. Okay, so I just went over the letters 2 times. I'll let it dry, and if there's any areas that need a touch up, I'll go ahead and add a 3rd coat. But while this is drying, let's go ahead and move on to our flowers. Okay, so these are our flowers today. I'm going to be working with a teal color, 2 different shades of yellow, and green. Now let me kind of walk you through what these flower arrangement consists of. Alright, so we've got our center flower right here, and this is going to be painted white. We're going to go ahead and paint the leaves green. I'm painting these 2 flowers the teal turquoisey color, And this will be a light yellow as well as this, and this is going to be the center of this flower, which will be a darker yellow. It's got this cute little centerpiece that's going to be cut out and left out. We're going to paint the center of the flower brown and this center of the flower white. So these two centers will peek through the center of these flowers. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and just sponge on the colors using our different little wedges here. And then when we get to painting the centers and cleaning up around this where the leaf and the petal meet, we are going to be using our little fine detail brush. And when you go ahead and get painting, just kind of be careful with these flowers next to it not to get too much paint on them. If you do get a little bit of paint on it, that'll be okay because these colors will get covered up. But just kind of be careful. Okay, so I just went through and did a couple coats of the colors on the flowers, and we are gonna let those dry, and we are gonna take a peek at our words and see if anything there needed another coat and just do some touch-up work. So I can see on the E, it needs a little bit more, but for the most part, it covered really well. So you'll just go through and add where you feel it needs. If you're happy with it, then you can go ahead and let it be. And let us go ahead. We're going to close up the turquoise and the light yellow, and we are done with those colors. And now we are going to walk through some of the detail work we are going to be doing for the flowers, which will require a clean disposable plate. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. All right, we're going to take our little paintbrush here, and now we are going to paint the center of this large flower brown and the center of this light yellow flower white. Okay, so now we're going to add some shadowing to these leaves. You can leave it alone, or if you want to give it a little bit more dimension with me, you're going to go ahead and you're going to get some green onto your plate. Then you're going to pick up just a little bit of brown, and we're just aiming for a slightly darker shade of green to add some shadows. And now you want to get it kind of loose so it flows a little bit easier and is a little bit more gentle to work with. So you just can keep dabbing your paintbrush into the water to loosen up your paint. And now we're just going to add some shadows. Let me zoom in here for you. We're going to add some shadows to the under parts of the leaves. Okay, now that we're done with the shadows of the leaves, we're gonna go ahead and give this light yellow flower some dimension in the center, just so it doesn't feel left out from the other flowers. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just pick some of the darker yellow, and we're just kind of do like a little star shape in the center. So you can just start in the middle and pull out in all 5 directions. And kind of make it thicker in the center and then just pull it to be thinner. All right. We're gonna let that dry a little bit, and then we're gonna come back and add some really fine dots of brown. But first we're gonna kind of focus on this area right here where the petal and the leaves meet, and we're just gonna clean it up just a hair in case the flowers that go over the top don't completely cover it. And so we're just gonna make it have a little bit more defined line. Perfect. All right, we're gonna go ahead and let this dry now, and we're gonna remove it from the wood, and we're gonna start to assemble our flowers. All right, now that the flowers have dried, we're gonna go ahead and take our fine tip brush and kind of bring it to a nice point. And we're just gonna gently tap into the brown paint and add little dots of brown into the center of this flower, just to give it a little bit more dimension and character. Okay. All right, we are done with our painting. Now it's time for the assembly part. So let's go ahead and clean up our work area. Give our hands a little wipe down. All right. Let's go ahead and we're going to flip over the flowers and we're going to remove the tape from the back. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and remove this outer nesting area of wood and make sure all of our flowers and centers come out. And go ahead and discard. And then go ahead and make sure all of the little center pieces of the flowers get popped out. We do not need them. All right. Now let's go ahead and get our glue ready. If you are using a brand new bottle of the super glue, make sure you remember to puncture the tip of it with a Q-tip or whatnot. You'll just, not a Q-tip, toothpick. So you'll just unscrew it and then puncture the hole to make to allow for the glue to come out. And now we are going to go ahead and piece together our flowers. So this yellow flower is going to sit right over the top of the white flower. And do you see how now the brown is visible? And that's why we painted the backer piece circle brown. So it would show that when it's assembled. And we're just going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue to each petal. And we're just going to center it, making sure that there's no white exposed in the center piece. Okay. And now the little light yellow daisy will get glued right down to this area, so you can just add some glue to that little circle. And now we are going to add this cute little turquoise piece right over here. Do you see how the white peeks through? And so you're just going to lightly tap a little bit of glue onto each petal and position it such. Now you're going to may have wondered what this little bridge here is, and that is so you can get a good glue for this flower. So you're just going to put a little bit of glue on the bridge and position this flower such, and then go ahead and glue the center down. And then finally our little light yellow flower. There's a little landing spot for it right there. Okay, our flowers are done. Now we're going to go ahead and use the gluing guide to position our words. So let's go ahead and pop our words out and get them glued down. Now that we've got the letters all glued on, we are going to go ahead and add the flower. And so there's a little gluing guide right here for the center flower, just so that way you can get it right. And if you get it right, obviously the rest of the flowers will fall into place. So we're going to just go ahead and we're going to put glue on the leaves and the flower just to get a nice good adhesion. And make sure to get these little teeny leaves because they might be fragile and you'd hate for them to snap off. Okay, and then just go ahead and add some to the main flower. And then go ahead and get it in place. And gently apply pressure. And your sign is complete. Perfect for your entryway or any part of your home to let your visitors know that they are welcome, and to add some cute farmhouse decor to any place that you wish to add it. You can go ahead and lean this against a wall, lean it against other decoration, or if you have a table easel, you can go ahead and display it in that. I am so glad that you joined me today. I hope you had fun in creating this You Be the Maker kit. Please join me again next month for another fun craft. Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.